Greetings, my name is Dr. William Hobbs and I'm here welcoming you to your online experience for College Writing 101. Now, first off, let me give you my philosophy about College Writing 101 because different professors approach it differently. My philosophy is that in this class, this is where you truly get to own, appreciate, and understand the authority and the uniqueness of your own voice. Now, what do I mean by voice? What I mean is your own perspective. You may have noticed as you get into the college environment, you have a lot of people with all these wonderful titles that can intimidate you. I'm a professor, I have a PhD in this and I have a PhD in that. However, I want you to understand, always understand that if you are a 19-year-old girl from Hialeah, you have a PhD in being a 19-year-old girl from Hialeah in this day and age where people have come to accept school shootings just as easy as they get the weather. Okay, this is a very unique time and you're in a very unique place as far as your age and your experiences. And no one can take that away from you. And because of that, it is very important that you express your perspective. This is important because as you get older, it will be up to you to dictate what your generation is all about. I'm going to get into that a little bit more in a second. My philosophy about teaching in general. I have a saying, and this saying goes as such. Those who work for a paycheck are meaningless. It is those who work for a cause that matter. And what that means is, I'm sure you've come across a couple classes in your younger years where you had a professor who, or a teacher who clearly was in it just to get paid. You sat in the classroom while they put their feet up on the desk and read the paper and waited till the bell to ring. That is not the way I get down. I enjoy what I'm doing and I see the value in it as far as helping students, helping people grow to express themselves and be more confident overall in what they offer society. So every single assignment I give you, I implore that you look at it as a means to improve yourself indefinitely. Everything I give students, I make sure the benefits of it, I make sure that it is something you can take out immediately into the world and use it for your benefit. Please keep that in mind. This class and the way I teach goes far beyond any immediate grade. Please believe it. Now, with that being said, there are certain things that I'm going to require of you being in this class with such a unique teacher, with such an amazing philosophy. Number one, do you work on time? A lot of people are very excited about the idea of having an online class, figuring, hey, I can do my work in my pajamas, I don't have to go anywhere. What happens is, for those who are not disciplined enough, you can let a week pass or 2 weeks pass and not check in on the class, which is on Blackboard. Okay, check in at least 3 times a week, and in addition to that, check your email. Right? There's nothing worse than trying, and let me emphasize that word, trying, to come to me 5 weeks into this 7-week course, trying to give me all of this work and telling me how your grandma died for the 3rd time this year and all that, the lazy hustle. I don't do. Ask a friend, I don't do it. Do your work, stay disciplined, do your work, everything will take care of itself. Now for this first week, I'm going to want you to take care of the Getting Started quiz. What that quiz entails is information to show that you've read up on what we require with you being an online student, as far as turning your work in on time, as far as plagiarism, as far as being very clear and transparent with the resources you use in your papers. By the way, papers. We're going to have 3 major papers. They're going to be 3 pages each. I don't know how major that is, but three papers that are the crux of the grade for this class. The first one, just so you can start thinking about it, will be about the greatest album of all time, which means what you feel is the greatest album of all time. Sounds easy, doesn't it? Listen up. This assignment is really going to get you to get into your critical thinking skills. You're going to see that we're going to have a discussion, as a matter of fact, as far as what the difference is, what you feel the difference is between thinking and critical thinking. All right? The greatest album of all time. It's very easy to say that whatever album that you've been listening to recently that just came out, a couple of weeks ago, that's the greatest album of all. You really need to be critical about this. Are you just saying it because this is the album you happen to be listening to for the last couple of weeks? Really? Really? Right? Then you have to think of the different categories. Let's say there's a rap album that just gets you going every single time. However, it doesn't really express everything you are as a person. No album could completely, but this one really doesn't. Okay? It just gets you in a good mood for a certain type of situation. Could it be that that album is just the greatest rap album of all time for you, as opposed to the greatest album of all time? Okay. Also, I'm looking for only organic albums. Now, what do I mean by that? Organic albums are any albums that were made by an artist, and it has a hit and a couple other songs that you've never heard of. That type of album, like Pink Friday or whatever from Nicki Minaj. That's an organic album, as opposed to Bob Marley's Greatest Hits. Bob Marley's Greatest Hits is a compilation of songs that someone has picked out of his career and put them on one particular project. I'm not looking for a compilation. I'm not looking for greatest hits. I want an organic album. And yes, mixtapes, those can count as an organic album. Okay. Yes, this week is going to be very interesting because we're going to start having that discussion on, using critical thinking skills to discover what you feel is the greatest album of all time. And no, it's not going to be an easy decision, nor should it be. Nor should it be. Now, again, this is very important because every generation makes itself known to the world through its music. If I ask my dad what is the greatest album of all time, I'm pretty sure he's going to say Marvin Gaye, That Makes Me Wanna Holler album. And I know absolutely why. Because this is when his generation was thinking about where they stood with the Vietnam War, what was going on with civil rights, the split between the generations. Granddad and a lot of older people felt, Martin Luther King, and it's a good idea, but they're pushing it, they're going to get us in trouble. Whereas, my dad, his generation, we're tired of waiting. I see it. All of that is encapsulated in that album. I want to know what album speaks for you like that. All right. So we're going to have discussions in regards to that. We're going to have discussions in regards to critical thinking. And remember, you're going to do your Getting Started quiz. That is a must. There are certain questions in that Getting Started quiz, such as the email that you're going to be reached by, that you have to answer. It is a must that you answer. Okay. So once again, check in with Blackboard at least 3 times a week to stay on top of your game and do the work that you need to do. All right. Most of the work is going to be, links and things of that nature, and then discussions. We're going to have the discussion board, and then of course you're going to turn in your drafts of your paper in turnitin.com. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited. And there's going to be another interesting link about the art of choosing that I think you're going to find stimulating, because it shows how one's culture affects the way that they make their choices. So, with that being said, this is William Hobbs signing off, telling you to stay vigilant. Vigilant, is that a word? Oh my gosh. Diligent. Don't laugh at me. I got a PhD. I'll talk to you later. Bye.